Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. You are watching from Nisha's View, and of course this is Photography Talk with Nisha. And today we are going to be getting into the last video you've seen. I went on a photo shoot. It was a maternity shoot, and I took you guys with me, just a little bit of behind the scenes of that session. So today we're going to go through the pictures and talk about my settings, just talk through the shots, and then show you some after, how the pictures turned out. So stay tuned and we're going to get right into it. For this particular session, I took two lenses. I took the 85, which is my favorite, and especially for portraits, and then a 35, which is my favorite all around lens. So I only took those two, and then I also took an ND filter, but I didn't use it. Okay, let's just get into the pictures. And if you are new here, then I am a Canon girl. So just a little bit of background. I am a Canon girl. I love Canon. That's what I first started, using, and what I learned on was a Canon. So I shoot with a Canon R6 Mark II. And like I said, my favorite lens is 85mm, and then the 35 for like those all around environmental, any type of shot that you want, a 35 will get it for you. So the session that I had was a maternity shoot, and it was in a nature preserve. So this is going to be on location, and yeah, I love shooting natural in this natural light. I didn't take any type of other equipment with me. I took a reflector that I didn't use. I didn't need to. And it was really minimum equipment for this session. It was, like I said, it was on location, outside, in a nature park or nature preserve area. So we had to kind of hike. Okay, so when we first get there, I'm looking around, checking my surroundings, checking the area, because, we went there early in the morning. It was probably about 7:40. We wanted to start early so there weren't going to be a lot of people there, because it's in like a creek. So, and as the day gets on and the sun starts coming out, more people come out, and they like to, wade in this water or in this creek. So we didn't want anyone in our shots. Less things I have to do in post, okay? The less, the better. So removing people and things like that, if we don't have to do that, then we're not gonna do that, okay? So early morning was ideal for us to get there, get in, get out. And plus, the weather. Weather is one thing too that you have to be mindful of when you are shooting outside on location. So it was going to be hot that day. So I'm adamant about getting up, getting out early. You get a little bit of a breeze still, and the sun is not beaming so much. But and for that day it was overcast, so it was even better. Overcast days are the best days for me when you're doing photography outside, in my opinion, because you have this big, softbox in the sky. So anyway, we get there, we're walking to the location. I'm looking around, just looking at the greenery, thinking, okay, it's a lot of green. So I have to compensate for the greenery. So that means I need to change. Sometimes I do auto white balance, which means that I let the camera adjust the white balance for me. And then when I get in post, I can tweak it if I want to tweak it. And that's what I did here, is I used the auto white balance, and the pictures turned out pretty good, because I knew with all of this green around, it was gonna cast. The picture was gonna come out a little green, and that's not what I'm looking for. So that's the first thing that I'm checking around. It's a lot of trees, it's green. And then we get to the spot where we want to change. Well, she has to change into her outfit, but I'm just still looking around, looking at places, and I always scope places out beforehand. So here I'm just looking around at the spot that we're going to be in, and then I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get in here. Let's start. Let's go. Let's, get it started. So this is the couple, the beautiful couple and parents to be. And yeah, so this one, I wanted to get kind of like a long shot of them in the middle of a long walk. So a long pathway. That way you have the compression and the creaminess and the bokeh of that 85 millimeter shines. And for this particular session, I only used one lens. I only used the 85. I did not use the 35 at all. All of these shots were done with the 85 millimeter. We moved from there onto the rocks. This is what she really wanted to get pictures of, the rocks and the water. It never fails. If y'all been rocking with me from some years now, every time I get ready to film, my phone dings. It never fails. Anyway, all right, so here we're just on the rocks. I have them on the rocks. The distance that's between me and them is pretty good, okay, because the 85 is more so, I would say it is more so like a portrait lens. So when you think of a portrait lens, you're thinking of maybe like headshots. So you're only probably getting shoulders up or maybe waist up. To get a full body picture, you have to zoom with your feet. So you have to move in order to get the shot that you want. And I like that. I don't need a zoom lens specifically for that. So I just use my feet to zoom. So if I want to get up close, I just walk closer. If I want to get a full body shot with the 85, I just walk away. So that's what this is here. I'm just really a good little ways away from them, but I'm still getting the compression, the background is just so creamy with these. And like I said, I did 85. I put the settings, each one of the settings of the pictures up on the screen so you can see what my settings were. All right, so my settings were pretty much the same on all of these. So I always shoot at ISO 100 to 125 just because I'm outside and I don't need to mess with the ISO as much because I am outside. And then my shutter speed was 1/200. Yes, 1/200 on a lot of these. I stayed between 200 and 400 because the lighting was changing. It was changing in some of the shots. So, I always say low mo. So low mo means in my mind, and how I like to teach it is the lower the number, the more light you're letting in. If you want to stay, and again, you got to work your triangle. Your triangle. So if you want to stay at a particular speed or a particular ISO or a particular f-stop, so you have to make sure that all three of these are talking to each other and balancing each other out. So I wanted to make sure my ISO stayed between 100 and 125. So that's going to be set. I wanted my f-stop to remain at open. I wanted it open because I wanted that background to be so creamy and so blurry, and the bokeh, I just wanted it to be just like melting. Okay, so I needed to be open. So I shot at f2, which is kind of, I'm teetering there, right? Because I have two people in a shot and I want to make sure that everyone is in focus. But with that, you have to make sure that everyone is on the same plane. A lot of time he was taller than her. So a lot of times I had to position myself in a certain way and position the camera in a certain way to make sure that they were on the same plane or in the same plane a little bit to keep everybody in focus to stay at f2. Okay, so with that, I had to play with the shutter speed. So my shutter speed kind of stayed between 1/200 and 1/400. So it was in that range. And then I changed my position. So I wish my husband would have gotten this on camera, because I had to walk from that big rock that they're standing on over to another piece of rock, right? And I was so scared. I was so scared because the rocks was very slippery. I did have on water shoes that weren't worth shit. Okay, I need to invest in me some better water shoes for these moments. But anyway, it was like me, like I was high stepping. Okay, I was high stepping to get to this rock. I didn't care if I got hurt. It was my camera. Okay, it was my camera and my lens. I don't care about nothing else. Well, I care about her. You know, I want to make sure she okay. But myself, I don't care. My camera is my baby. Okay, she my baby, and the lens my baby. So yeah, we gonna make sure they okay. They alright. So yeah, so this one is just me changing positioning and, you know, giving direction. Pinterest is my inspiration. I use it for all types of inspiration. I use it for my home, for like decorating or whatever. I use it for fashion stuff, for styling, and for, of course, photography ideas. So here I'm just showing her some inspiration or some boards that I have pinned of some shots that we can try. I just want to make sure that she's okay and that she's comfortable doing that particular pose. So that's what we're doing there. We're just talking about that. And then again, here is another place. Now you see the rock on the other side behind the young man is where I shot the other shot where I said, you know, I don't care, you know, as long as my baby is good. I had to walk from the big rock to that little rock. Now where I'm standing right now was it was a good little, it wasn't close to her. So I had to walk through the rapids, through the water to get to where I am. Again, the rocks were slippery and the shoes I had on were not the best. So I was very careful coming across there with my camera, holding my camera like, oh Lord, you know what I mean? So yeah, I made it across anyway. So I'm just going through, looking through Pinterest again to give her ideas and direction on how we're gonna do the shot. Love how this one came out with her and then the reflection of her in the water. Really nice, really nice. And this place is beautiful. This location was very beautiful. So yeah, so that's that. And then we're doing again, she's in the water this time. She's in the water and listen, she was scaring me. She was scaring me so bad because she's just one of those fearless young people. Baby, you are pregnant. Please be careful. Please slow down. These rocks are slippery. My heart was beating so fast because she was just fearless with it. And I'm like, no, so wait a minute. Wait, don't you dare get up. Don't move. Wait till somebody come and help you. So she got in the water. And yeah, so this is the shot from me, my angle to her. So yeah, it came out fine though. She was fine. She was fearless. And yeah, those are the pictures. Okay, so basically that is it. That is basically all that I wanted to share today. I just wanted to go through and share the setup versus the shot. And, you know, just showing my settings of how the shot came out and the equipment that I used. Like I said, I only use my camera, my lens, and that's it. I didn't even use the reflector. I didn't need to. It was a good day. Like I said before, having an overcast day, a cloudy day is perfect. Is so perfect for a photographer. It just creates the nice soft light that you're looking for, if that's your thing. I like the soft light. I do like direct sunlight too, which next time, my next video, we're gonna go through the setup versus the shot. Oh, that's a good one. I think I'm gonna start that. The setup versus the shot series. So next time, we're gonna talk about the setup versus the shot in another session that I did. But today, for this one, it was just my camera, my lens, and that's it. And that's all the equipment that I took with me. And that's all the things I thought that I maybe would need with that. I didn't even use the ND filter that I took. So there was no need for it. There was no need. The sun wasn't bright, so it didn't block out any of the light that I needed. So yeah, this was a good shoot. It was a good shoot. And I hope that if you've made it this far, you've learned something, and go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit me in the comments. Let me know if you're a natural light photographer, a studio photographer, which one do you like the best? Or is it, it calls for different things, different scenarios. And then like and share. And so until next time, I'll talk to you then.
Thanks for watching my GG channel. Period.